So I wanted to read the author's notes at the end of the book about Turtle in Paradise. Turtle in Paradise was inspired by my great-grandmother, Jeannie Peck, who immigrated with her family from the Bahamas to Key West in the late 1800s. As a child, I heard about Spanish limes and sugar apple ice cream and the importance of shaking out your shoes to avoid scorpions. My family is related to the Curry family of Key West, after whom Curry Lane is named. Many families suffered hardships during the Great Depression, and it was not unusual for parents to leave home in search of work or for their children to be cared for by relatives. Then, as now, entertainment was a great distraction, and movies, radio shows, and the funny pages provided much amusement for everyone. Little Orphan Annie, Shirley Temple, and The Shadow were all superstars in their day. And then she has a picture of Little Orphan Annie comic. And then down at the bottom, Shirley Temple. I've shown you guys that before. At the height of the Great Depression, Key West was in economic ruin, with the majority of population on public relief. The town officially declared bankruptcy, and the Federal Emergency Relief Administration came into Key West in 1934 with the intent of reinvigorating the economy by marketing it as a tourist attraction. Key West was on its way to recovery when what became known as the Labor Day hurricane struck on September 2nd, 1935. While the lower Keys and Key West were largely spared, the middle and upper Keys bore the brunt of the storm with terrible loss of life. Searching for pirate loot has always been a popular pastime in the Keys. Jean Porter, in her book Key West Conch Smiles, writes, "When I was a little girl in the early 30s, everybody in Key West had a treasure story. While actually finding pirate treasure may seem far-fetched, historical rumors abound. In Charlotte Needhawk's account of living in the Florida Keys during this time, Charlotte's Story, she relates the tale circulating around Key West of a sponge fisherman who mysteriously disappeared with his family to South America after finding the treasure of a pirate named Black Caesar. Whether Black Caesar ever really visited the Keys is still a matter of speculation." Pepe's Cafe is a beloved institution of Key West. It still exists, although it's no longer on Duval Street. The sponging industry and turtle crawls are now remnants of the past, but they were once thriving industries. Nicknaming was a Key West tradition, and the nicknames came in all styles. The scorpion sting suffered by Aunt Minnie was inspired by an actual incident. So this is the cafe. This is the actual cafe that they were talking about that she went to, where she was drinking leche. And then this is turtle crawl, where they would catch the turtles and use them for meat and like turtle soup. It says, Key West children posing on the docks with 5 turtles and a pile of sponges in the background. Oh, look at the sponges back here. You see the sponges? Likewise, some of the characters had their inspiration in actual people. The writer Ernest Hemingway was one of Key West's most famous residents. He was in Key West during the Labor Day hurricane when it struck. He witnessed the aftermath firsthand and wrote about it. In true Key West fashion, he had a nickname along with the locals. They called him Papa. Kermit was inspired by my cousin Kermit Lewin. The real Kermit suffered rheumatic fever as a child and grew up to become the mayor of Key West in 1960. He famously tricked Jimmy the ice cream man with the nickel in the bottom of the cup trick to get free ice cream, and he did TikTok people. Kelly the horse and Jimmy were actual local characters in Key West. And finally, the Diaper Gang's secret diaper rash formula is a family remedy that I've used on my own baby's bungies. It also works on mosquito bites. My family's recollection and those of other conchs provided the details of everyday life in this book, and I'm grateful to them all for sharing their memories. And then there's a picture of the real Kermit, who grew up to be the mayor. I think this one's Kermit. And then this says, this is what the neighborhoods look like. Typical conch neighborhood in Key West in 1935. And that's it. So lots of historical things that we could research about this book. I love that it's a historical fiction and it's based on real people and real places. And I hope you enjoyed it.